Ciao Bella babies. This is the executive keto chef Gary Trahey welcoming you to the show tonight. And guess what? Tonight we're doing Italian. We're going to do it with a totally different twist. And it's going to be completely adaptable and done in the keto way of cooking. So you can enjoy it and just eat. We're going to do some fun things tonight. I got a new cooking tool from Amazon last night I want to show you. I've come up with a couple of different creative ways to be able to do some things to keep us more ketoized, is what somebody might say. And so I want to be able to share that with you. And hey, Sandy, glad you made it to the show. Awesome. And so tonight, what I want you to do is we're going to be going through quite a bit of different stuff, going through different things, and I'm going to give you alternate different methods to be able to create this dish. It's a simple dish. All we're doing is we're doing a form, notice the word form, of pasta. It's actually not pasta at all, but we're doing a form of spaghetti. So, and we're going to make a homemade, what I would call a ragu, not like the jarred stuff, but it's a traditional red sauce made all completely fresh tomatoes, fresh everything. So it'll be really, really, really good. My good friend Mike is on the show tonight. Mike, it's so good to see you. I miss you a lot. And of course, as we do our shows, one of the most key important things for me being a chef is I've got to have some wine, because by the end of the show, I've got to feel freaking great. So tonight, what I'm drinking is an old classic. It's absolutely fantastic, and so I just got to see who this is. And oh my gosh, one of my dear friends, Mary Beth, just came on. Very excited. Hi, Mary Beth. Miss you. I'm drinking tonight a wonderful Clos du Bois. My cat is talking to me. Baby, I'm on a show. Leave me alone. And I'm drinking a Clos du Bois. Absolutely fantastic vineyard. It's a very old vineyard from California. I do on my show a lot of California wines because, first of all, this one isn't in Temecula, but wine is just such a celebration of food. It complements it so very, very well. So we're doing Italian tonight, folks, and I want you to be able to follow through. Now, along with the keto diet program, a lot of people, we use coconut cooking. We use coconut oil. It's amazing for you. Research out coconut oil. It's fantastic for you. It's great for your body. Number of ailments. I use it in everything. And when you're doing Italian food, one of my biggest things when I decided I was going to do Italian today was olive oil. Now, olive oil, I love olive oil. Heck, I'd freaking bathe in it. Doesn't matter to me. It's all good. So when I was thinking about this, and I wanted to keep this, true to heart with keto, with the keto diet. And I said, how can I do this without using olive oil? And so what I've done is I came up with a way of doing it. So, and that's what I'm going to show you. So that way you can make your own olive oil. And it's fast, it's easy. I know a number of you probably already have a bullet in your house. I love kitchen toys. I'm always buying kitchen toys. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make and be able to keep on this diet and to be able to eat much healthier and to see your weight drop off. As of this morning, folks, I am down 8 pounds in the last, I don't even know what today is. I think so figure about 8 or 9 days. So it works. Have fun with the diet, enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan the camera down and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a keto version of olive oil using coconut oil. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan down, and folks, if you have any questions and you want to talk to me, I have a screen on the on here, and you can talk to me. I'll answer your questions if you want to comment. Questions like last night, I forgot to mention how hot the oven was, and just a couple of other things. If you have questions, just jump in and just type me out a question, and I'd love to be able to answer it for you. So what we have here is I'm going to show you this, and I have my bullet, and I'm just going to put that to the side for a minute. And all I'm going to do is, I thought about this afternoon, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my coconut oil, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of the container. And I'm not going to need an awful lot. Probably, I'd say about that much to be able to, let's do a little bit more, to be able to create tonight's dish. I also have Kalamata olives. So, what I've done is I'm just going to throw those right in with the oil. And this is going to be a great way for me to be able to still keep to the diet program and be able to create my own version of an olive oil. So all I'm going to do is just whip that right through and let that blend up really, really well. And folks, I'm going to have a form of an olive oil. It's not completely olive oil, of course, like an extra virgin olive oil, but it is an olive oil. And so it'll have a great flavor when it's done. And it'll give that nice authentic flavor. And folks, I mean, yeah, there's little bits of pieces of olive in there and everything else like that, and it's all good. So that'll be something fun. I'm just going to put this over here. So I have that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a homemade sauce, kind of in the same method as a piki paku, or you can even do this almost even as a bolognese. Not as a bolognese, but as a puttanesca. I'm just not going to put any anchovy in it because I'm not a huge anchovy fan, but my mom is, and it's just not a really big thing for me. So, and of course I'm going to have just a little bit more wine. I wish somebody was here drinking wine with me. That would be really, 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 really nice. So, what I'm going to do next is we're going to start cooking. I try to keep the shows as a little time as possible. So what we're going to do is I'm moving the camera over, and we're going to scan down. Let me show you the ingredients that I have. I've got some wonderful, and I'm going to drop this down just a little bit. I've got some wonderful fresh aroma tomatoes, some very nice sliced onion, beautiful, beautiful color on the yellow peppers. You can use any kind of peppers you want, yellow, green, red, purple, I don't care. And of course I have some more Kalamata olives that I just sliced in half. The tomatoes are diced, they are not skinned, and they're not peeled because the reason I'm doing it, and I also have some wonderful fresh sliced mushrooms. So what I'm doing is the reason I didn't do is I try to, when I'm doing these shows, I really want people to be able to cook these things in their house really, really fast, and to be able to cook for their families very, very healthy, according to the diet program. So that's why I didn't skin the tomatoes. I didn't remove the seeds. It's referred to as tomato concassé. And we're going to get into that on a later show when I'm doing more French, okay? By the way, I hope everybody enjoyed last night's show. It was really, really good. We had tons of people viewing it throughout the day. The show's really taking off. I'm very, very excited. And folks, I really need for you to share the videos on your pages and to help me promote the page. I really need your help with that. So let's get back to cooking. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to scan the camera down, and we're going to make a nice homemade sauce. I need to get my cooking spoon out so that way I can do this. And then we're going to have some fun on some other things. So I'm going to show you what I've got going on this pan. And folks, you can still talk to me even with the camera down. I can't completely see what you're saying, but I'll check in just a couple minutes. I have my pan on, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my olive oil, and I'm just going to pour some olive oil right in the pan. And that's actually, you might say, wow, Gary, that's quite a bit of olive oil. Well, you know something? I like oil. I like butter. Fat is my friend, and I love it. And you know something, folks? I've never been on a diet like the one I'm on where I'm actually losing weight. I think I'm going to, while that pan is heating up, I'm just going to kind of talk to you for a second. Like I said, if anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to message in, and I'll answer them for you. The one problem I have with diets, and I've been on diets my whole entire life. I know my friend Mary Beth can certainly vouch for that. Being in high school, I was just a chubby kid. So the whole thing about it is that when you go on a diet, you restrict, you restrict, you restrict. Then when you get to your target weight, you go off your diet and you start eating slowly the things you couldn't eat before because you missed them. Well, folks, that's not really cool, because then all of a sudden, 6 months later, your weight is back on, if that. With this, we're eating really awesome food right off the start. And so you can actually incorporate this into your normal lifestyle. So we're going to go back down to the pan right there. And as you can see, my oil is getting really lovely hot. And what I'm going to do is, I love stuff like this. Folks, it's just so easy. It's so nice, and this one's the garlic. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down, now that my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to drop the temperature down just a little bit. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to mix that into the oil, so that way the garlic is now infusing. You do not want to burn your garlic. Burning your garlic is a no-no. It'll actually cause your dish to become bitter. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you, just so you know, the smell right now is outrageous. Even with what I'm doing. That oil, it actually smells like I'm cooking with extra virgin olive oil with the way I've done this. And I'm so glad I thought of it this afternoon. Now what I'm going to do is, I have the garlic in there. I'm going to incorporate my onions. I'm going to turn my heat back up. I'm going to incorporate my onions and also my peppers. Those break down just take a little bit longer to break down. Plus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook out the waters in them. And so that way it just goes a whole lot easier, and it's just beautiful colors. And so I'm just going to do that and break that down and allow those to cook up really, really nicely. Just so you know, in the oven, I'm doing this with Italian sausage. I love Italian sausage. It's a hot Italian sausage. I got a very, very good one. Hey, Brian. My buddy Brian just joined the show. Brian is an amazing cook. I cooked with Brian at my last place, and Brian is going to be joining us later on this week. And I think he's down fishing in San Diego tonight. And Brian's going to be coming along, and I get to cook with him again. I'm very excited. So it's really a good thing. So what we're doing is, crap, I forgot what I was going to say. You know what that means? It means another glass of wine. So here we go. So you always want to use fresh ingredients. The thing about changing your life, the thing about changing your, hey Andy, Chef Andy's on the call. Good job. Awesome, Andy. Thank you. Andy, we're doing Italian tonight. So what we're doing is, like I said, is using really, really great fresh ingredients is really, really huge. And it's so easy. People don't understand the science of cooking. And that's one reason why I'm doing this show, is so that people can really have a good concept of food, have a good concept of fresh ingredients, and that's the biggest thing right now in restaurants is doing farm to table and being able to enjoy that and to be able to have really great things to be able to cook for their family and to be able to get them out of the fast food mode, which is absolute crap, guys. If you feed your kids, you know, those kind of things, you know, the fast foods, it's terrible. So what I'm doing is I have some wonderful roasted, crushed red pepper, and I'm adding some crushed red pepper to the sauce because I want to really get that flavor in there. So good. It's amazing. So we're going to go, I'm going to scan the camera down and I'm going to talk to you. If anybody wants to chat with me, you're more than welcome to. So we're doing and I'm going to kind of explain what we're doing. Again, we're just making a very fresh sauce here. And in the pan here, I made a special olive oil. I used my bullet and took my coconut oil, which is an unflavored coconut oil, which is really awesome for the diet. And I put it in a container and blended it with Kalamata olives. And so I mixed it up, so I made my own version of an olive oil. And it just tastes really, the flavor, the smell is awesome, guys. Like I said, you can't even tell it's not extra virgin olive oil. It really smells amazing. And it's completely works on this diet. I've got my my onions and my peppers in here, and they're all just sliced very, very nicely and nice and thin. Then what I'm going to do from here is now I'm going to add my tomatoes. And I'm going to let my tomatoes completely break down. And again, these are unskinned and unseeded tomatoes. I'm going to show you how to do that in a later show, another show, of how to do what they call a concasse. And that is going to be really, 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 really lovely. I did put some garlic when I added the oil, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this just completely break down. I have the heat on, it's pretty much just on high, because I want the tomatoes just to sort of mash down. And that's what's going to happen here. And it's going to be a really lovely dish. So, while that's cooking, and you can all see that, and folks, it looks good and it smells really, really good. In the tomatoes, there's going to be a lot of water. That's why I'm just going to let the tomatoes break down, and I'm going to let all that water just completely evaporate right out of there, so I get a little bit of a thicker, fresh sauce. And it's going to be really, 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 really nice. And again, like I said, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because of the fact that I want people to be able to do this a lot easier when they get home. So, and again tonight, just so you all know, I am having Clos du Bois Pinot Noir. It's a nice bottle of wine. It's nothing overly spectacular, but it's doing the trick. So, it's a good thing. So I'm going to add some more spices to that in just a couple minutes. But like I said, what I want to do is I want the tomatoes to break down. It's going to go in stages. I want to show you something I bought at Amazon the other day. And I'm sure my buddy Andy has one of these, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to show you the box, and you can get it from Amazon. What it is, it's a spiraler. And I was thinking, because of the fact I am a huge fan of pastas, spaghettis, everything else like that, and I miss having spaghetti, and I haven't had a chance to create my own pasta just yet to be able to work on this diet. And I want to stay as low carb to no carb as I possibly can and still be able to enjoy the flavors. So I bought this, and I got it yesterday, and I've never used it. And folks, I've never used one before until probably about 15 minutes ago. I had to test it out to make sure I knew what I was getting myself into. So, but you can get it at Amazon. It only costs, I think I paid, 20 bucks for it, and it's really, really cool. And so, and this is kind of what it looks like. It's actually pretty darn cool, and it spirals. You just stick it right in there, and it's got all different kinds of blades. This one has 5 different kinds of blades, and it's kind of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use this thing. So that way you can use it for your families and give them really incredible, healthy, and plus it's going to be beautiful. So all I'm doing tonight is I'm doing it with zucchinis. I'm doing it with a zucchini, and I'm also doing it with summer squash. And that'll be really, really, it's going to taste great. And if you really think about it, pasta doesn't have a huge amount of flavor because it's just flour, a little bit of egg and salt, and some water, or maybe a little olive oil, and depending on what kind you're making. It's nothing really spectacular. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this down so I can show you what I'm doing, and you're going to see how absolutely easy this is. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to load this right in. And you want to get vegetables that are actually kind of straight. And so I'm going to load it right in there. Put it right in there like that. Press it forward. And I'm going to line it up so that way it goes there. And I've already started doing some. And isn't that kind of fun, being able to do it that way? I'm going to move the camera back so you can see what's going on. Okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin this. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure. And I'm just going to twist this right in there. And it should be, and it is, it's coming out the other end, which is exactly what I needed to do. And we're going to make some really, really cool stuff. I'm going to be using this an awful lot with different things I'm going to be making. And I'm hoping I'm not breaking all this up. And and you can actually, with a couple of these things, you can really feed your whole entire family. And that's there. And you get a nice little fun thing your kids can play with. And I'm going to pull this right off. Get that right over there. Now you're not going to be able to tell me, folks, that this is going to make a really fun alternate pasta dish. I mean, just look at that. And folks, this is just a zucchini and a summer squash. They're not very big. This is more than adequate enough right here to feed 2 people, definitely. And the price is so inexpensive. But one thing I will tell you this is the one thing that I've completely discovered since being on this diet and cooking this way is that I have spent less money on food than I did when I was cooking normal. I'm spending a tremendous amount less than I did before, and that's really all I'm going to make right there because of the fact that there's only me here tonight. Last night I ended up getting a couple guests from friends that were actually in the Temecula area, so they came and said, "Hey Gary, let's you got any extra food?" And we come over and I'll eat with you. So I had some guests last night, and guests are always welcome. So that's pretty much what I did. Now I'm going to show you a really fun way of doing this to extract as much flavor as you possibly can. It's going to be really, really, really yummy. And it's going to keep you on your diet, and you are going to drop a bunch of weight. Trust me. Okay, because you don't need regular pasta. And folks, even when it comes to, I need another glass. Even when it comes to the pastas that are gluten-free, most of them I don't trust. Because a lot of those places that make gluten-free pastas, I'm just going to turn this over here. I'm just going to give the sauce just a little bit of a stir because I want those tomatoes to just break down really, really nicely as much as they can. And already the water is absorbing really, really well. And I'm going to show you over there in just a minute. Hello, my friend from Low Carb Mates. Great website. They have a lot of resources for low carb cooking. Friends, you should join that website, Low Carb Mates. And really great website. Really great page on Facebook. So they do a really good job. And they're my new friends, and I'm excited. So what we're doing is, so when it comes to, crap, I forgot what I was going to say. It's okay. Maybe I should stop drinking before the show. And but what we're going to do is we're just going to, like I said, we're going to work on making this sauce and be able to do this really, really well. So I'm going to bring the camera over here. I told you earlier this is going to be done with Italian sausage. It's going to be really, really nice. What I did is I took my Italian sausage and I used a Lynx sausage, and I have it in the oven. And I'm just going to pull it out and show it to you. I love doing roasted Italian sausage. So what I do is I put it in a pan, in a dish, and I just roast it. I have a little water in there because of the fact I want to add moisture, and I don't want the sausage to stick. And you can use any kind of meat. You can use grilled chicken with this. You can use roast pork. You can use beef. You can even use salmon. It doesn't matter. Use whatever makes you happy and whatever tastes good. That's the most important thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, and these are going along very, very nicely. And I'm going to show you this. Now all this is right here again, folks, and I'm going to reiterate, it's an olive oil. It's an olive oil that I made. I made my own olive oil with coconut oil and olives, Kalamata olives, and blended them in my blended them in my bullet processor. Poured it in here with some garlic. Added sliced onions and peppers, and then the tomatoes, which are just now completely breaking down, which is just, it's going to be really, really yummy, and it looks great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add, because the tomatoes are starting to break down, I'm going to add some mushrooms to this, and the mushrooms are going to absorb some of that fluid, and then they're going to break down as well. I used to do a dish very similar to this when I was a chef of a Holiday Inn up in Sheridan, Wyoming. My most favorite place in the world. I love Sheridan, Wyoming. It's incredible. If you've never been there, you really need to go. Everyone always thinks of Jackson Hole, but Sheridan is absolutely amazing. So while that's cooking, then now I'm also going to add some Kalamata olives. And folks, this just has mucho tons of flavor. I'm going to add now some fresh ground pepper. And I'm going to add a good amount because I really love pepper. I like things with just a little bit of spice. I'm going to add some kosher salt because it's definitely going to need some salt flavor to it. And what I'm also going to do is one of my other favorite things to add to when I do Italian is I'm going to add a little bit of fennel seed. I love fennel. If you don't like that flavor, you definitely don't need to add it. And you can substitute, do whatever you want to do. If you want to add a little bit of wine and cook wine into it, you can. I would just rather just pour it in a glass and just drink it myself. So I have this going on here. And folks, doesn't that look absolutely lovely? And folks, you can make this so easy for your family. And we're just going to keep, and again, the heat is on high. And all we're doing is we're breaking down the fibers within the vegetables. And this is a lot of vegetable tonight. And like I said, I'm serving it with Italian sausage. And it's just going to be really, 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 really good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move the the sauce over to the other side. And I've got this pan right here, and I'm going to heat up this pan, and I'm going to show you a really fun way to do, and if anybody wants to talk, you're more than welcome. And it looks so tasty, getting hungry. Good low-carb mates, thank you so much. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to prepare this zucchini spaghetti, and I want to show it to you. Let me move the camera back up. I did this on a spiraler, and it's so much fun, so easy, and most people would probably just take this and just kind of heat it up the way it is. To me, that just doesn't have enough flavor because I like more flavor. So what we're going to do is this. Okay, I got it on the pan. I got my, and this is the oil that I made. It's coconut oil, which is wonderful for you. I added Kalamata olives and blended it up. So then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take my olive oil and I'm going to put it right in the bottom of the dish again. And I'm going to get a couple things ready. Before I do that, let me just finish this up, and I just want to show you a couple more things. I have this wonderful basil that I get in a tube. It's really, really good. It's fast, easy, and convenient. And I'm just going to pour some of that in there, and that's going to give that a really great basil flavor. And then I also have some wonderful, wonderful fresh parsley. I love parsley, as everybody is learning about me. And then I'm just going to give this a really nice stir. And folks, there is just absolutely nothing better than this. I'm also going to add one more thing. And folks, this is just really, really easy stuff because I want it just a little bit more saucy. And I made a spaghetti sauce the other day, just a real little one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of that homemade spaghetti sauce that I made, just a little, and I'm going to put it right in there. And that's going to help. And see, just that little bit. You can use a can of crushed tomatoes if you want. Just use a little bit, but let the tomatoes really break it down. Now, doesn't that look gorgeous, folks? I'm telling you, I think that looks absolutely beautiful. So now that's all I'm doing to the sauce. Now all it's going to do is it's just going to cook. It's completely seasoned. It's ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan back that I had the oil in, and I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to put the sauce on just a little bit lower, so that way that kind of goes into a simmer. I have my pasta, well, my non-pasta. I have my my pan cooking with the oil in it, and I need to get a spoon. I'm just going to kind of give that a little bit of a stir, and I'm going to repeat the exact same thing I did earlier. I'm just going to put in a little bit of garlic, a little bit more, and I'm going to let that flavor, because what I want to do is I believe that when you're cooking, you've got to flavor each level that you do. It's really, really good to do it that way, and it'll just be really, really, really awesome and great flavor. Okay, so I have that in there. Now this is going to go very quickly from this point forward, and I want to share that we're going to need to get my plate ready, and I need another sip of wine. Salute! So, I have that there. I'm going to take my zucchini and summer squash that I spiraled, and I told you you can all get it. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to put it in the saute pan. Because I want to flavor each level. From there, I'm going to add some kosher salt. Boy, that sauce smells really, really good. And some wonderful, wonderful fresh ground black pepper. So I have garlic. I have the Trinity in here. And that's garlic, salt, and pepper. And look at that, folks. This is going to break down a little bit. And just the flavor of it is just going to be amazing with the homemade sauce. And it's just really going to be good. And I need to just see something. And we're doing good there. And so we're going to let that get up to a high heat and work on that. And let the zucchini just cook. And we're going to get that nice and hot. The zucchini and stuff like that does not take long. I don't know if you can see this, folks. This sauce, look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? I wish you had smell-o-vision, because I'll tell you, it is utterly incredible. Smells incredibly garden fresh. Really, really, really nice. So easy to make. And folks, this meal is so wonderful for you. It's the only carbs that are in here are coming from the vegetable product. And it's just a great way of cooking, and it's a healthy way of cooking. You don't have any processed white flour coming from the other items, and it's just really, really yummy. Really yummy. So I'm just getting myself prepped up, and be able to do that. And I'm going to. Boy, I really need a camera person. And you don't want to cook these to where they're falling apart. Not at all. You want to be able to cook these to where they're just broken down. Now these are almost done. Flavor's amazing. It has a great flavor of the garlic and the oil in them. And that works out really, really well. It's still got a really great bite to it. And I absolutely am falling in love with this and the way this is going to go about. Folks, I'll never eat regular pasta again. Okay, so I would say this is about done. Okay? So now what we're going to do from here is I turned off the stove. And now we're going to go over here. And I'm going to do my dish up. So that way you can see how the finished product looks. Thank you, Low Carb Mate. Can't wait to try this. It looks amazing. Thanks, Mary Beth. It's really, really easy. And I know, Mary Beth, you're really into fitness and really into healthy eating. I've seen that from your Facebook page, and this is perfect for you. It's really perfect for you and your family, both you and Jeff and the kids. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the dish up. And again, like I said, this is spaghetti, but I'm calling this the unspaghetti. And I want you to be able to enjoy this as an alternative. I lost my glass of wine. Oh, there it is. So let's do this. Let's do the dish up. Okay, so here we go. What I have here is I'm going to move the camera down so you can all see what I'm doing. Move the camera back a little bit, right there. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have my beautiful green and yellow squash. And I'm just going to lift it, get off some of that fluid. Okay? And it drains right off. And I'm just going to mount it in the center. Very, very simple. And folks, this was just one zucchini and one summer squash. Absolutely beautiful. Look at those great colors in that plate so far. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my need a different spoon for this thing. I'm going to put my sauce on, and I want to show you what the sauce looks like. Look at that sauce when it's done. Isn't that beautiful? The tomatoes broke down. All those gorgeous vegetables right on there. Absolutely beautiful. And what I'm going to do is and this is also perfect for vegetarians and vegans, folks. If you have somebody who's a vegetarian or a vegan and you want to cook for something, make them this. They will become your best friends. And to be able to be on the diet. So this is a great recipe for them. So I have that. Get my things right here. Oops. And I'm going to take 2 roasted sausages. I'm going to put that on there. You can also, like I said, you can do this with spinach. With salmon. You can do this with a grilled chicken. You can do it any kind of way you want. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off. I have some wonderful Parmesan cheese. Nice shaved Parmesan cheese. All over the whole entire thing. Makes it look and taste so good. And I have some wonderful chopped parsley. Now, folks, again, this is a wonderful alternative to to be on this diet. You have incredible fresh vegetables, just done a different way of making olive oil. You still have it's still pretty high fat because you have your oils and you have sausage and stuff like that. Without the sausage, you have, like I said, you have a vegan and a vegetarian dish. You have, and of course, the vegans won't have the cheese, but it's just a great. I would truly serve this in one of my restaurants, and you know, as a pasta alternative for those people that are gluten free, who are celiac, and to be able to do something like that. Doesn't that look really, really good? I'm going to post a picture of that on there. I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. It was yummy as far as I'm concerned. I know it was a long show. My shows usually are. And I apologize about that. I just don't have an editing system that I know how to run to be able to break down the shows. So I ask you to please share the videos with on your pages. Invite your friends to join. It's really, really important. We're trying to build this up and to be able to make this really, really a great program, and to be able to do some certain things. We're going to be, but again, I'm asking you as a favor, please share this on your pages. Share this with your friends. Have your friends join. People need to eat better. They need to lose weight. People need to eat healthier. They need to get off the carbs. They need to get off white processed sugar. God knows they need to get off white processed sugar. White processed sugar is horrible for you. But again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, Rebecca. And again, please share the video. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, please message me through my Facebook page. I'd love to be able to answer them for you. I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow night. And I don't know what I'm cooking. And that's okay, because it's all good. There's going to be wine in it. That's all I know. So thank you very much. And ciao bella, everybody.